Hello and welcome to our Gold Learning viewers. I'm Fiona Lang Sharp, IBCLC and Director of Communications here at Gold Learning. Well, welcome everybody who's listening in today. It is my pleasure to introduce to you Dr. Prabha Chandra. Welcome, Prabha, to Gold Perinatal. It's an absolute delight to have you here.
Thank you, and it's great to be here too.
Yes, it's very exciting, and we've just been doing a little bit of items online to get you all set up and ready for the day. So I'm very excited about that, and we'll talk about that just in a moment too, so we can let everybody know when you're going to be here with us live, and they can come and visit. But for now, I would love it if you could introduce yourself and perhaps tell everybody a little bit about yourself, perhaps where you are in the world, and what you do.
My name is Prabha Chandra, and I'm a professor of psychiatry, and I head a very large psychiatry department in a place called Bangalore, which is in the south of India. Um, I'm probably one of the first women who's heading a psychiatry department in this very large institution. And my basic interest is in women's mental health, and particularly in perinatal mental health. I have a mother-baby psychiatry inpatient unit, a five-bedded unit, where I admit women with their babies, women who have mental health problems. I run an outpatient perinatal psychiatry service, and I also do research in the area as well as train a lot of young people in the area of perinatal mental health. So, yes, that's me.
That's wonderful. Yeah, and as you're telling us all about yourself, and of course, I got to look at your bio as well, which everybody can read online. But it just makes me smile because I can tell, the love and passion that you have for women, especially when we hear about your the unit that you have that you can admit women with their babies, which is what we've been asking for so long. Please make sure that those mothers and babies stay together. So it's really lovely to hear that you have a unit there and that you're able to do that, as well as of course your outpatient unit as well, which is great.
That's right. I mean, I think it was a bit of a challenge to get a mother-baby unit open. It's never easy because
Mhm.
administrators always worry that, how would you admit a little baby who's so defenseless in a unit where there are
Yes.
mothers with, mental health problems. But I think it works very well, and we've shown that it works, and outcomes are good. And
Mhm.
yeah, and I mean, in India, what happens is that the grandmother usually stays on with the mother and baby, so she has support as well.
Oh,
And it's really nice, and I think
oh,
it's very
good.
fulfilling as well. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's just it's one of those things that we've known for a long time that can make a difference, but like you said, it's still a little bit complicated. And I think that's something that that's translated throughout the world. We hear that a lot, and even locally in my own hospitals, still trying to figure out how to balance that.
Mm.
With the postpartum perinatal mental health. So definitely some challenges that we're working through, just like you are around the world. So okay, so let's talk about what I wanted to ask you a little bit about what you're working on. I didn't know, if you've got any plans for later this year or moving into the next year, but what are some of the things that you are currently working on?
So, you know, in the coming week, we are holding the big International Perinatal Mental Health Congress in Bangalore. So I'm super
Mhm.
busy with that right now. We have 500 delegates from all over the world who are coming in.
Wow.
And, all the state-of-art research is going to be discussed and presented. And interestingly, it's the first time that this Congress is being held in a low and middle income country. So we're really looking forward to learning from each other. So that's something which is,
Oh.
you know, and by the time I give the actual talk, the conference will be over. So yeah, so I'll have more learnings from then. Yeah, so
Oh,
that's what I'm
wow.
doing at this point, and I have a very exciting project which I'm running, which basically
Mhm.
is following up mothers from the first trimester of their pregnancy till the babies are 2 years old, and is looking
Wow.
at mental health in great detail and infant health and bonding, and we're doing videos at home with the mother and baby and trying to look at interactions. So it's a lot of interesting measurement in the real world scenario, and also looking at suicide and self-harm in this particular cohort. So, and I'm going to be presenting some of that data when I talk to you.
Wow. To me, that's so interesting too. I'm definitely fascinated when I'm working with families. It's the first thing I always look at is the behavior, the interaction between mother and baby. I think that we need definitely more education in that area because the subtleties that you can pick up on when you're working with family members is just so important. You know, from the mother to the partner to the grandparents, all of those things, and of course the little tiny infant as well. You know, you can, there's so many things that you can learn just by watching. So it's great to hear that you've got an opportunity to actually work within the home setting and get those videos too, because that's going to speak volumes for teaching later on and observing how they're interacting. Very exciting stuff, Prabha.
That's true. Yes. A lot of hard work, but exciting.
Totally, totally, absolutely. All right, let's get into the actual presentation that you're going to be speaking to here at Gold Perinatal. And just to give everybody a heads up, Prabha's going to be with us on Tuesday, the 9th of October. And please go to the website to check out your local time. Although for some of us it might be early in the morning, I know for Prabha it's going to be late in the day there in India. So depending on where you're coming to us in the world, check it out on goldperinatal.com. Suicide and self-harm in the perinatal period. Wow, this has got to be a huge topic in terms of, you know, all the different elements that contribute, what's happening, the changes that we've seen over many years. Prabha, can you tell me what you're looking forward to sharing with our audience about this particular topic?
So I'll probably start first with the extent of the problem worldwide, and
Mhm.
talk about why we really need to address suicide and self-harm in the perinatal period. It's not something that people talk about very often. I mean, we do talk about
Right.
postpartum depression and postpartum anxiety, but we don't talk about self-harm. It's very hard to talk about self-harm in any case,
Yeah.
and in the
Mhm.
perinatal period it's even more harder. So I'm going to talk a bit about the extent of the problem. I'll then move on to what seem to be the risk factors for self-harm, um, some data from the work we are doing, and a little bit about more clinical issues like how do you assess self-harm and suicidality, because I think that's so key that unless you know really what to ask a mom
Mhm.
and to look for telltale signs and look for warning signals, you're not going to be able to handle that. And then to try and assess the level of risk in mums, keeping the risk factors as well as the interview that you do with the mother to assess suicide. I'll probably show a small video here to which kind of indicates how you can actually ask these difficult questions. And then from there, I move on to what do you do when you find a woman who's at risk for self-harm or suicide. Yeah, so that's going to be something that I'd like to share because
Excellent.
it's hard. It's a hard area to work in, and
Yeah.
just to make people feel a bit more confident about talking about some of these very difficult things with mums. And mums really appreciate us, us talking about these things because they find it so difficult to talk about it otherwise.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I feel a little bit uncomfortable to be honest. I mean, and I think it's just that sensing of this is a challenging topic and you're right. If we don't talk about it, then how do we support our mothers, you know, our family members? And so, you know, if we're working with clients, we need to know this stuff. So I'm looking forward to hearing more. I mean, I know it is a challenging topic to talk about, but I think we're getting there. You know, we're starting to hear more and more conversation, and we know that we can do better. So it's wonderful that you're going to be spending this time with us, teaching us, and really, I think, opening us up to what is going on around the world. So thank you so much for sharing this topic with us. It's great to hear all the things that you're doing, of course, in Bangalore as well.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to this whole interaction because I'm sure I'm going to learn a lot from the audience as well. It's going to be an interesting conversation.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Well, thank you so much, Dr. Prabha Chandra, for being with us here today. And for our listening audience, that's right. We're going to have lots of opportunity to talk with Prabha on the 9th of October. So you can come live. If you can't make it that day, don't worry. We'll have it recorded for you and you'll be able to listen to it online at a time that's convenient for you, of course. But there's also going to be our forums as well, where if you have questions, you want to ask offline, that's a great way as well to interact. And you can share what is happening in your part of the world as well, because it's really good that we stay connected in that way, because this is an international problem. And so we want to see international solutions as well. And what's happening in your part of the world may support others around the world. So thank you again to Dr. Prabha Chandra for being here today. And of course, to our wonderful listening audience, we'll look forward to coming back and chatting with you again soon. Bye bye for now, everyone.